In this chapter, we will create the first screen of our app. This screen displays an image and two buttons. App user can select an image using one of the two buttons. The first button allows the user to select an image from their device. The second button allows the user to continue with a default image provided by the app. Once the user selects an image, they will be able to select and add a sticker to the image. So let's get started creating this screen. Before we build this screen by writing code, let's break it down into some essential elements. Most of these elements directly correspond to the built-in core components from React Native. There are three essential elements here. The screen has a background color which is black. There is a large image displayed at the top center of the screen. There are two buttons in the bottom half of the screen. The first button is composed of multiple components. The parent elements provide a yellow border and contains an icon and text components inside a row. In React Native, styling such as the yellow border is done using JavaScript as compared to the web, where CSS is used. Most of the React Native core components accept a style purpose that accepts a JavaScript object as its value. Now that we have broken down the UI into small chunks, we are ready to start coding. First, open the Expo Snack editor. You will see the project list we saved in the previous chapter. Click it to open. Let's remove all the extra code from the app.js file to keep everything minimum at the very beginning. For now, we will have only one root component, safe area view, and the component container, which will serve as the black background. The preview window is blank, so let's add some styling to the background. We will define a container class, set the background color to black, and set flex to 1, which will make the background cover the entire space in black. Don't forget to add the style property to apply the container class to the safe area view component. Next, to display the image in the container, we can use React Native's image component. The image component requires a source for the image, which can be either a static asset from assets/images folder or a URL from the network. First, import the image component from React Native at the top of your file. Then define a placeholder image variable for the background image.png file. This variable will be used as the source for the image component. Place the image inside a React Native view component. Add styles to display the image and its container properly. Next, we will modify the container class to center everything. As we add more components to this screen, let's divide the code into multiple files. We already have a component folder at the root of the project. This will contain all the custom components we will create throughout this tutorial. Then create a new file called imageviewer.js inside the components folder. Move the code to display the image in this file along with the image styles. Next, let's import this component and use it in the app.js file. React Native provides the pressable components to handle touch events on native platforms and the web. In the app, we need to implement two buttons, each with different styles and label. Let's start by creating a reusable component for both buttons. Create a new file called button.js inside the components directory with the following code. Now in the app, an alert will be displayed when the user taps any of the buttons on the screen. This happens because the pressable components calls an alert function in its onPress prop, which we will update in a later chapter. Next, let's import these components into the app.js file and add styles for the view components that holds these buttons. Let's take a look at our app on Android, iOS, and the web. The second button labeled as Use this photo closely resembles the actual button from the design. However, the first button still needs additional styling to match the design. The Choose a Photo button requires different styling, so we will add a new button theme prop that will allow us to apply a primary theme. This button also has an icon before the label. We will use an icon from the library called Expo vector icons. To load and display the icon on the button, let's use a font awesome from the library. Modify components button.js file to add the following code snippets. Let's learn what the above code does. The primary theme button uses inline style. Inline style uses JavaScript and override default style for a specific value. Now modify the app.js file to use theme equals primary prop on the first button. Let's take a look at our app on Android, iOS, and the web. If you are unable to follow the steps, please check the source code link in the description. In the next chapter, we will learn how to use Expo image picker.